Good evening, YouTube. It's Chaz. Now I'm back on this beautiful, blessed day with a brand new video for you all. And in today's video, I will be going over the 3 most important sections on the Georgia real estate exam. Now, these lessons I'm going over in this video can help anybody in any state, but for this video specifically, there are some things that only pertain to the Georgia state exam. So always take that with a grain of salt. Nevertheless, I will be going over the 3 most important sections you need to know and some of the most important topics. I don't want to waste y'all's time, so let's get right into it. So the 3 most important sections on your Georgia real estate license exam will be: first, your state Georgia real estate practice, which has 20 to 22 questions, which is the most out of all sections on the test. Then you will have financing and closing, which you can group together. They're 2 different sections. So you got finance and closing is a different section, but they both have over 15 questions, which is more than most other sections on the test. And then last, you have state laws and rules, which has 14 to 16 questions. These 3 sections put together take up 70% of the test. So if you can allocate your studying and your attention to breaking down these sections and knowing it the best, I guarantee you will have a higher chance of passing your test. I wanted to pop up an official picture of me having the certification of passing my Georgia real estate license exam, and also all the sections and all the exact numbers. So if you want to look at this real quick, get a feel for how many questions and how many sections and all that. First things first, I want to go over what you need to do in order to study these sections and get the knowledge that you desperately need in order to pass the test. So in order to take your real estate license exam, which most of you all probably know, you have to have a pre-license. And I took my pre-license with the CE shop. And with the CE shop, they allow you to keep going over your pre-license course material, which is what I would advise to do in order to study and hone in on these sections. So like I said, you have real estate practice in Georgia, you got finance and closing, you also have, like I said, finance and closing, and you also have finance as well. I didn't mention contracts, but contracts is another big section. Not as big as the other ones, but contracts has I want to say 13 to 14 questions. And you also have practice real estate right here, another good section, and state laws and rules down here. So these 3 down here and financing are the most important sections. So if you were to go back over your material after passing the pre-license course, or even while you're still going through the pre-licensing course and still learning, take these mini tests and get these questions. All you got to do is click on the section. As you can see, it has a mini exam. I've attempted it 43 times. They're little mini tests, only 10 questions. You could finish it in about 5-10 minutes, but they have great questions. It's not the same questions every time. They randomize it, different questions each time. And then you also have down here, you can study by subtopic, so you get it even deeper into the section and the terminologies and everything. If you decided you didn't want to take your pre-licensing with the CE shop, you can always go to Barney Fletcher, Georgia Real Estate School. You got Acceptable Agent, as you can see, shop on top. There's multiple other pre-licensing courses and places you can go to get your pre-license and also get that extended learning as well. Also want to add in that in order to get your real estate license, it takes a lot of discipline and studying. So as you can see, I had 81 hours and 6 minutes in the course, just going over coursework, getting my pre-license, and also doing extended research and going over the topics like I showed earlier. But I say this to say that you should allocate at least an hour and a half or 2 hours a day, each day, going over the coursework, making sure you know the material, taking the mini exams. Now, I want to go over the things to know and the types of questions you'll see by each section. So first, I want to start off with Georgia real estate practice. So you'll see questions like the difference between an employer and an independent contractor, broker disclosure and transactions, CAM eligibility and agreements. CAM is Community Association Manager. Got security deposit requirements, and it's in an escrow account, it's in an interest-bearing trust account. You got contract representation and licensees can and cannot when it comes to contracts. Like, can licensees fill in the blanks on contracts? Can licensee represent both parties in the contract, and just things like that. That's all for state real estate practice. Now for finance and closing, you'll see questions like lenders and acts for discriminations like the Equal Credit Opportunity Act. And you'll see steps in a buyer-client financing, loan servicers like Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, FSA, farm service agencies. You'll see types of loans like fully amortized, loan with a balloon payment, and a straight-term loan, which is just a regular loan. You'll see types of deeds: deed of trust, security deed, a quitclaim deed, which transfers rights with the least liability for the seller. And you'll have promissory note, promissory note, and it'll state who's paying such and such in the transaction. You'll have alienation clause, acceleration clause, due on sale clause, and you'll also have the closing procedures as well, because it's finance and closing. So you have closing procedures. You gotta know what the closing attorney does. You gotta know closing costs. You gotta know all that good stuff. Now the last step in putting it all together is passing the test. Take your time on the test. Read through the questions twice. Don't rush. Go in confident, not cocky, and just take what you learned and execute. That's it for today's video. Make sure y'all check out the links down below for my socials, my contact info, and also my Depop shop. If anybody's interested in copping some clothes, reselling, a like and a subscribe means a lot. Comment down below what y'all thought. Stay growing, stay learning, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.